All right, we are going to play an example round for you guys. Those of you who know my name can see that these dominoes are personalized, a gift courtesy of a friend. And to show us how to do this, we've got Craig Beaton over here, and Chris Costner over here, and then yours truly. So let's go ahead and do this. Chris, will you shake the dominoes? This is called shaking. We're just agitating and mixing. And we're each going to draw 7 because there are 3 players. Alright, so the shaker cannot take until everyone else is taken. Now the way you score in this game, again, is by playing all your dominoes out and picking up the points off of what other people had left, and primarily by getting multiples of 5 played on the tips. Conveniently, to start, I drew the highest double. So this whole game, we would play to 200, and each round is started by the person who goes out, except for the first. First double played is the 6-6. If I hadn't had the 6-6 and nobody else had it, we would have played the 5-5, etc., etc. So I get to play again because that's a double. And looking at my dominoes, I don't have the 6-3. That would have scored. So I'm just going to play another 6 and pass it off to Craig. Alright, Craig played the 2-3, which was perfect. This double is still open, so both tips count. 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 3 is 15. He's just scored 15 points. He looks to play again. Again, because if you play a double or score, you get to keep going. That's important. Playing doubles and thinking of those combinations is key, because you want to go out and get all the dominoes that the other players have left. Alright, so he's played the 3 blank, and he's done. He didn't play a double, he didn't score, but he leaves with 15 points, which is solid. Now we go on to Chris. Chris plays the 6-5, he's scored. And by the way, I don't know what these guys have, so we're just watching to see what they do. Blank on this side. This double is closed, so no points, and 5. 5 plus 0 is 5. He's scored a nickel, and he keeps playing. He has the option to play off of the 6-6. Oh, and he piles on. Nice. 5 on one tip, 5 on another. And that's something to learn, is that the blank blank and the blank 5 can really amplify a score done with 5s. So he scored 10 on that play, and he now has a total of 15 to tie Craig. And now he's done. 4 on one tip, 5 on the other, it comes to me. Now what I'm looking for, if I want to score, there's 5 over there, 4 over here. So I need to think to myself, what do I play to score? I could play a 4-5 or a 4 blank here. Of course, that is a 4-5. And that would match with that 5. Or I could play a 5-6 here, so that the 6 would be standing out next to that 4. I'll look for those. I don't have them. Do I have a 6? I do have a 6, but it's not going to score. I'll go ahead and play off the spinner, though, so you guys can see that. I put that 6 off the spinner, so that now there are 3 tips live. 5 over there, 4 over there, 4 over there. No points on this tip until a domino gets played on it. That's a total of 13 points for Craig to see what he can do.
Alright. Come off this side.
Alright, so now all 4 tips are live. Again, any other double that gets played cannot be spun off of. Only the very first double played. So 4, 4, 1, and 5 are at the tips, not a multiple of 5. Chris is pondering his options. And Chris scores again. Now one thing that you want to do eventually is to be able to just sort of look at combinations of numbers and recognize that they're scores without really counting in your head. There's a 5 over there. You can dismiss that for counting purposes because you'll just be trying to make multiples of 5 over here. 4 plus 4 is 8. You want a 2 down here. So a double 1 or a 1-2 would score. Chris did that. That's a total of 15 points. 10 between the 2 4s and that 2. 5 more over there. So Chris now has a total of 30 points. And he's pondering his next brilliant move. Now he's done. That does not combine for a score. Alright, well, I thought about my move. I'm getting my butt kicked. I can't do anything particularly effective. I'm going to go ahead and play this 4-3. Now the reason I'm playing this 4-3, I'll go ahead and lay it down and you can see this. There's a 5 over there, 2 2s over here. By playing that 4-3 there, I've actually exposed myself to for Craig scoring points by playing the 3-3 right there. I have the 3-3. Now the reason I thought of that is that you can train yourself to automatically see combinations. You see 2 2s, you know that a double 3 will score off of that without even thinking about it. And still vulnerable to the 3-6, but I already have one of those dominoes accounted for, so I make that play with some confidence.
And it was a safe play indeed. Because I've only got one move.
Okay, so that tells me, because City only has one move, that he has no 2s and 3s. And as you begin to play, you'll learn ways to figure that out. Alright, the 1-3 over there scores. You might remember that we had that combo of 2s, those tips, and that 3 over there. Putting another 3 over there sets up a 3 and a 2 over there for 5, and a 3 or a 2 and a 3 over here for 5. And you'll learn to think of those, of dividing all 4 tips into those sets as you begin to play. He only has one domino. He gets to go again. If he goes out, he will get all of our dots added up and rounded down to the nearest 5. But he has to draw. He doesn't have a 3 or a 2. Now my rule of thumb is, if I'm going to play and score to make myself draw, I will not do it for less than 10 points. So basically I won't do it for a nickel. If I'm going to score 5 and I have the option of passing if it's going to force me to draw, if I have the option of making a play that won't score, then I will. If I'm going to score 10 or 15 points or even more, then I go for it. This should be a flexible rule, but that's my rule of thumb. Alright, so now he's done. Alright, I'm glad that play was made because there's one principle that you need right away that we haven't covered yet. Okay, I can score with this 3-5. 6 over there, plus 2, plus 2. That's 10 points. So over here, I would need to put a 3-5 to score. Bam. So I don't want to do that quite yet. I have dominoes to get rid of. I can't score with this double, but by playing a double, I get to go again. So I get rid of this domino so that even if I don't go out, my opponents don't get those. Then I play the 3-5. So I just scored 15 points, got rid of an extra domino, and now I go out. So Chris scored more points than anyone else in this round. I have 15, and I'm going to collect points from these guys, so I'll be competitive with Chris and Craig by the time this is done. 4 plus 1 is 5. Always round down to the nearest 5. That's a straight 5 for me, so I now have a total of 20 points. Right there we have 9 points. Always round down. So I get 5 points from Craig. Gives me a total of 30. So there you go. Now it's important to realize that whoever goes out can play any domino they want to start the next round. You're in a race to a given number of points. Usually around here we played at 200. I ended that first round with 30. It's common to end a round with anything from 15 or 20 to 70, 75. You can never really be sure. But start the next round of play with whatever domino you want if you went out. It doesn't have to be that highest double. So you could start, for example, with a 2-3. That would score you 5 points because there are only 2 tips on the table, a 2 and a 3. Then you could pile on top of that and see how many you could play to maximize the number of dominoes you play and try to go out faster. So again, to start any round subsequent to the first, play any domino that you want. Alright, so that's how you throw bones racehorse style. I hope this is a helpful video.